admit you'd make a pretty cute barmaid. Fetch,
The audacity!
bitch, who you fucking talking to? Fetch me a drink, will you, sweetheart? Nah, bitch, that ain't my job. Nigga, I came to play, nigga. What? Alright, what's good, y'all? It's Butterfly Mac, and we back. Yeah. Alright, so where we left off from, we did 17 and 18. If you missed that, past live streams are on the channel. Go ahead, you know what I'm saying? Go back, watch that before you come over here. Um, the last thing, what happened? Not gonna lie, they fucked in the basement. That's all you need to know. So, any, they ain't not mad at each other, nothing. They did it in the basement. So, we should be at the end. After that, I'll explain later, but after that, we're gonna do something. Alright, let's get started. I'm always trying to save a lot of money. 19. Alright. I quietly hum to myself as I straighten the cushions on the couch, bumping them up until I'm happy with how they're sitting. Tonight is the first time Gray is coming over since we slept together. See, I told you, hey, I gave you a recap. That's all you need to know. I don't quite know why, but my stomach feels full of butterflies. I tell myself it's normal in this situation. Things are so new between us, especially since he found out the truth of who I really am. The nerves will ease eventually. I've just put on some music when there's a knock on the door, and I take a deep breath as I head over to open it. He's early, but I don't mind. In fact, I'm excited to see him. Surprise! He thought of him. I'm taken aback when I swing the door open to find not Gray, but Sarah. I don't know why I was going to say Savannah. Sarah grinning back at me. Oh, what are you doing here? I frown. Only now noticing Jed standing right behind her. He gives me a small wave, and by the look on his face, I'm guessing he's been dragged into all this by my crazy best friend. If that's your version of a warm welcome, I hate to see how you greet Gray when he shows up. Sarah tuts as she pushes her way aside. You said Gray was cooking tonight, she elaborates. And now that the two of you are all loved up, what could be better than a double date? We are not official, I point out, smothering a smile of my own. And Gray is cooking dinner for me, not for the entire neighborhood. Come on, aren't you happy we stopped by? I sigh at her as she plops down on the sofa, mixing up the kisses I just straightened up and fluffed. Who told her, bro? Gray told Jed and Jed told Sarah. That's what happened. I'm, al- I'm always happy to see Sarah, but she knew that Gray and I had plans tonight. Still, so she ran her big mouth. That's what happened. Still, it's nice to see that I'm not the only one who's excited about my new relationship with him, if I can call it that. I'm sorry. I told her to ask you instead of just showing up like this. Jed asked, as the two of us watch her from the doorway. That been more preferable, I grumble quietly, already mourning my night alone with Gray. Jay gives me an apologetic look, as if he read my mind. I'm starting to get the feeling that he's learning quickly how persuasive Sarah, wow, I said it again. Sarah can be. How about I grab Sarah and take her out to that new restaurant in town? That way we won't get in the way of the office. I glance at my best friend, already happily settled on the couch while she flips through her phone and smile a little. No, it's all right. I wave a dismissive hand, though I appreciate the thought. You're already here. It'd be rude to keep you out now. No, it wouldn't. What? It's supposed to be a singular date. Brought her ass over here. Nobody say that. Here, we brought this. It better be some motherfucking wine. Keep playing. Jed holds up a bottle of wine. Good shit. He's carrying it. Thought it might soften the blow a bit. That definitely helps, yup. I grin in return as I take the bottle and set it aside. I think she just really wanted to check up on you after last night. Make sure everything's okay, Jed admits. Which has me softening a little bit more. As you can see, I'm perfectly fine. I say loud enough for Sarah to overhear. This must appease her because I swear I see her shoulders droop in relief as she sinks down further into the couch.
Hmm.
So what's for dinner? She tosses her phone aside as heads over to join her. No idea. You'll have to ask Gray when he gets here, I start to say. Another knock on the door distracts me from the two of them. If it's not Gray this time, I'm going to be seriously perplexed. Pulling the door open, I thankfully find I fucked it up. Pulling the door open, I thankfully find him standing there, a shopping bag in each hand. I smile at him in relief. I hope you don't mind, but you'll be cooking for four, I say in greeting, letting him pass through before shutting the door. Gray chuckles softly as he enters, letting me take one of the bags from his hands while he shakes his head at the others. I should have known you two would sneak your way into our date night, he jokes. You're lucky I brought extra.
Mm.
See, it all worked out in the end, Sarah declares. I sigh at her, though she only gives me a trumpet smile in return, and Gray and I head to the kitchen. Sorry about them. They just showed up without warning. I start putting the bag I'm holding down in the kitchen. Gray follows suit, putting down his bag before wrapping his arms around my waist and pulling me closer. I inhale his scent and relax into him. All of a sudden, the fact that we have two unexpected dinner guests doesn't seem to matter as much anymore. Funny how he has that effect on me.
Hmm.
I would have liked to have you to myself, but we've got plenty of time for that. Gray teases as he leans in, catching my lips with his. His touch floods my body with warmth, and for a moment I wish we were all alone, but that we could forget all about dinner and move straight on to other things. Oh, he's trying to get freaky. Hold on. He kisses me slow and deep for long enough that when we break apart, his head is spinning. My feet is trying to remember how to stay flat on the ground. So, what's on the menu tonight? I asked in an attempt to bring myself back down to
Hmm.
earth. I can think of one thing I like to eat. What you know about that? What you know about? He growls as he dives into my neck, kissing me all over. Gray, remember we're not alone. I giggle in my attempt to swat him away. He chuckles and pecks me on the tip of my nose before turning back to the shopping bag.
Hmm.
Relax, I'm cooking pasta carbonara. He winks. It's an old family recipe. My face lights up in the light, but if there's one thing I love to eat, it's pasta. Do you want any help? I ask. And I ask as I step beside him, watching him pull out the ingredients from the menu.
Huh.
You could pour the wine, he suggests. With a nod, I grab a few wine glasses for the cupboard, reaching for the bottle that Gray unpacks from the shopping bags. I pour a generous amount in two glasses, heading out to hand them over to Sarah and Jed. When I return to the kitchen, I fill up the other two for Gray and I.
Huh.
Thanks, Gray says as he takes the glass I hand to
Um.
him. Do you have a large pot? He asks, glancing around the kitchen. Yes, it's just in the cupboard down there. I point in the direction of the pots and pans. I lean back against the counter and sip on my wine, watching him work. This sounds sexy about a man cook, yes, especially as, especially one as hot as Gray.
Eh?
Valid. I don't mind a man cooking for me. Go ahead, make some pasta. What are you smiling at? He asks. He asked me after a while. I shake my head and chuckle lightly. It's just funny. I would never have imagined the Phantom standing in my kitchen and cooking me dinner.
Hey.
Well, I never would have imagined wanting to do half of the things to Butterfly Mac that I've done to you. But here we are, he says wickedly. I blushed, thinking of just last night down in the basement, of his hands all over me and the way he'd make my body feel. I've thought about it a lot today. Ooh. Are you sure there's nothing else I can help you with? I asked before I let myself get carried
Huh.
away. Positive. He says with a little laugh, I'm supposed to be cooking for you. Remember, go and relax. I do a double take at that, and someone who's used to doing everything myself, it feels a little strange to leave Gray to do the work while I go and put my feet up. But it looks like he's the boss, at least for tonight. Heading back into the living room, I find Sarah and Jed chatting happily, the radio humming quietly in the background.
Ah.
Kicked him square in the chest and had him sprawled flat out on his back. The guy had to be at least 5 times her size. Sarah is saying to Jed, using her hands to elaborate the
Oh.
story. That's impressive, Jed says in return. His arms draped across the back of the couch in a picture of relaxation. What are you talking about? I asked fiercely, sipping on the wine as I hovered
Ah.
nearby. I was just telling Jed about the kickboxing competitions you used to enter during school, Sarah
Hmm.
explains, and how epic you were, she adds with a grin. I laughed at her description. Sorry, it was I was pretty good at kickboxing back in the day, but I was nothing
Huh?
special. You don't train anymore? Jed turns his head to ask. Not since school, I answer, thinking back on those
Hmm?
days at the gym. Jed nods. Why did you stop? If you don't mind me asking. It was my mom's idea for me to start taking classes for self defense. I explained. By the time I finished school, I had other things on my mind, like opening up a boutique for
Hmm.
kids. That explains how you could hold your own against the Riversiders last night. Jed muses before he turns to Sarah.
Uh.
So what about you? Where did you learn how to fight? He teases her. Sarah raises her fist, pretending to take a fighter's stance against him.
Ah.
Amaya says, show me a few tricks, and the rest I picked up on my own, she says playfully. We weren't good little girls staying home to do our homework during high school, you know. We were out on the streets defending our turf, she
Huh.
jokes. Still not know it, Jan snorts. Despite that outrageous hairstyle you had back then, that's the first thing I noticed about
Huh.
you. Hey, it was popular at the time. Thank you very much. Sarah defends herself. Back me up here, my yes, sir. I think it's suited for you. I say with a smile
Hmm.
at my friend. See? Thank you for confirming what I've already knew, Sarah gloats. We spend some more time talking about high school and the trouble we used to get ourselves into. And by the time I return and check on Gray, I'm feeling more than a little nostalgic. Though when I enter the kitchen, the first thing that hits me is the smell. Cheese, bacon, and fresh herbs. My stomach starts to grumble as I inhale, deeply imagining how much better it's going to taste. That smells really good, I say dreamily, hovering around the stove. Great chuckles, it's almost ready. Do you have some pasta bowls? I grab a few large bowls and some cutlery, and then refill our wine glasses while Gray is serving them up. We take everything out to the dining room table and order Jade and Sarah to sit down and tuck in.
Hmm.
Looks like you got yourself a keeper. Sarah teases as she takes the seat across from me, her eyes wide, taking in the spread Gray has cooked up. If only you could lend Jed some of your cooking skills, she sighs.
Huh.
Hey, my cooking is not that bad. Jed protests. Sarah smirks as she leans towards me, a single eyebrow arched in amusement. He made me spaghetti and meatballs when we first started dating. The pasta was half cooked, and the meatballs had lumps of flour in
Huh.
them. It's the thought that counts, Jed pouts, earning a kiss on the cheek from Sarah. I smile at them both. I'm glad that they decided to show up, even if I was hesitant at first. Sarah offers me a slice of the crusty bread she's just cut into, and when our eyes met, our lips tilting into twin smiles, I know exactly what she's thinking. Not in a million years would we have ever thought we'd be sitting at my dinner table with the leader of the Capo gang and his best friend. 10 years ago, even a month ago, the thought would have been absurd. Yet here we are, and I can't remember a time when I was happier. The, I eye the food in front of me and breathe it in, ready to get stuck in it. Everything looks amazing. As I predicted, the first mouthful has me sighing in contentment. It's really good.
Huh.
I'll take that as a sign you like it, Great grins. It's amazing, I say wistfully. We all finish our meals together, chatting, laughing, and drinking the entire time. When we thoroughly clean our plates, Sarah and Jane head into the kitchen to do the washing up, while Gray and I move to the couch together. My head is buzzing from the wine after finishing both bottles. Damn! What is. Nah, I was finna give them. It is 4 people. Hell no, they went through them bottles. Gray and Jed had brought over, and we had dug out another one from my kitchen. Despite that, I'm feeling so full and content that nothing could be more perfect in this moment right now. Gray sits close while I curl my leg on the couch and get comfortable. He still smells good. He always smells good, and the scent only makes my head spin more. After speaking so much about high school with Sarah and Jed earlier, it made me think of Gray and what had happened to him back then. Jed hadn't said much about it, but it seems like now is a good time as any to bring it up. What happened after you got arrested that night back in school? You just disappeared, I asked slowly, wondering if Gray will talk to me about such things. He stays quiet for a moment, as though thinking it through.
Huh.
I left town, went to stay with some relatives outside the city, and working their business for a bit.
Hmm.
I took a pretty low blow when I was expelled, but spending some time away for everything was good for me. You didn't miss it, the city I asked?
Yeah.
Sure, sure. I miss certain things, Jay, most of all, he grins. How did you, how did you end up working with Ivan? I continued. I assumed that both of you hated each other back
Uh.
then. I ran into Ivan soon after I returned to the city. I was tired of all the fighting by then and had no interest in returning to all that, so we started working together instead, Greg
Hmm.
said. In the beginning, we were running a small betting ring, taking a cut of the
Uh.
profits. Soon, more and more people were coming up to us wanting in on the action. We figured we had a pretty good thing going. We also had, we also had the means to make it even better.
Hmm.
One thing led to another, and poker became our thing. I found this place by accident. It was abandoned at the time, he says. You never want to do anything else? Find a different kind of job? I asked, aware that I'm asking too many questions, but still curious if nothing else. You mean a job that's not illegal?
Yeah.
He chuckles, maybe. Although I'm not sure what skills I had on offer besides the ones I picked up while working with Ivan, he asked. I don't know. You seem capable. You seem like a capable businessman. Maybe you'll think of something along those lines, I suggest. He smiles at the thought but says nothing more on the
Hmm.
topic. What about you? What did you do after the academy? He asks after a few moments. I was totally fixated on opening my own boutique, I say. I studied fashion and learned a little bit about the business side of things. When my grandma passed away, she left me a small inheritance. That was enough to help me get this place set up. I gestured below to the boutique a level below us.
Hmm.
So you're living on your dream. Yeah, I am. I say with a
Uh.
smile. I'm happy for you. He said genuinely, taking my hand in his. My breath catches in my throat when he leans forward, his gaze flickering towards my lips as he lifts a hand to my face. When he kisses me, I melt, letting my eyelids flutter close as I lose myself in him.
Hmm.
All right, lovebirds, we're out of here. Sarah, oh shit, you already know it's time as soon as they leave. Hello. Sarah interrupts as she walks back into the living room. Gray and I pull apart abruptly, an equally guilty, and an equally guilty smile plastered on both of our faces.
Hmm.
Thanks for having us, Jed. Jed says as I walked them to the door.
Hmm.
Food was great as usual. He adds a wink at Gray. After saying goodnight to the two of them and seeing them out the door, the atmosphere in the room changes. Now finally, Gray and I are alone, and for the first time since our escapade, es- escapade, I said it right, okay, down in the basement. Gray seems to be thinking much of the same thing. Taking me by the hand, he leads me back towards the couch where we sit together, even closer this time. Thank you for tonight. Dinner was delicious. I speak first. Feeling those vanilla exterior butterflies fluttering back into my stomach.
Mm.
Well, I had to impress you somehow, just in case last night didn't do the trick. Great jokes. I'm back down on my lip as I giggle. I think this point he can consider me thoroughly impressed. I went to the doctor to get tested today, by the way. I'm just waiting on the results, I tell him. I thought it might be a good idea for when I'm ready to go further with you. I mean, if we're planning on keeping this going, I add quickly, feeling my feeling my face go warm at the assumption.
Oh.
I was planning on doing the same thing. Seems like we're on the same page. Gray grins as he leans in closer. Will you stay tonight? I whispered before his lips meet mine, seeing seeing them tilt in
Mm.
amusement. I'll stay, Gray says, his breath warm on my skin. But don't go getting any wild ideas. Why not? I asked, feeling hazy from both his scent and the lingering effects of the wine I'm drunk in. Woo! This shit fire! Hey, hold on. Screenshot. Yeah! Damn, that nigga find her close. Ah! Let me get your eyes open. Hold on. His eyes was just open. Yo, don't make me mad, bro. Alright, I gotta get him open. I gotta get him open. Hold on. Hold on. We'll let that go away real quick. Take a pause, guys. Let's admire the scenery. Beautiful. You see this? Beautiful. Hold on. Let me see if I can get his eyes open. Oh, he fucking. Alright. Oh, shit. Alright. Let's lock in, though. Let's lock in. I love these things. Gray pushes a few strands of my hair away from my face. His touch sending a shiver straight through me. He cups my he cups the side of my face, his thumb running over my lower lip while his eyes lock in.
Hey.
It's beginning late, and when I hold on, right. Okay, let me get into the camera. Hold on, let me lock in, cause what I'm reading, I can't even. All right, because it's getting late, and when I fuck you again, I want you. I want to take my time with you. You want to take my time? You want to take my time? He said quietly, quite seductive.
Mm.
Oh, and I need you to be level-headed enough to appreciate every single drop of pleasure. Woo, I'm going to give you, God damn. He adds with a small
Mm.
smirk. Woo, woo. All right, you should get some sleep before you have to get up for work, he murmurs. What if I don't want to sleep? I ask, my breath catching when his gaze drops into my mouth. He pushes his thumb into my mouth, and I close my lips around it. What the fuck is going on? Freaky. Freaky dicky! Sucking gently and teasing the tip with my tongue. Aim. That's how you
Oh.
say it. Go, I know you heard this. Alright, we gotta lock in, bro. There's so many things distract me. Alright. A soft growl escapes him, coming from somewhere deep in his chest.
Uh.
You make it incredibly hard to be good, he whispers, his voice coming out hoarse. All I'm hearing is that I make you incredibly hard. Ooh, talk your shit! Talk your motherfucking shit! I tease him with a knowing
Huh.
look. That too, he grins in just the way he's sitting, confirming my point. Pushing myself up from the couch, I sink into my knees in front of him. The smile on my face, nothing short of sinful. There are plenty of other ways I can think of to have fun, I say wickedly. Go ahead and do your thing. Good thing I want to. Go ahead and hit the bed, man. Things quickly turned steamy between us, heating up to temperatures that we have. Hold on. Heating up to temperatures that had me burning all over and gasping for air. I proved to Gray while he may be the one in control, I know a few tricks of my own that, that can have him unraveling at the seams. Look at you. And you threw in a little sewing junk type shit. Afterwards, I happily do as Gray orders, and the two of us head to the bed for some much needed rest. I fall asleep in his arms, lulled into dreams by his familiar scent and the safety that I feel whenever I'm with him. Who would have thought that my old rival, the one who threatened so much of my existence back in high school, would now be the one that I'm falling for? But you can dig down by too. What's that, man? After closing up the store the next day, I head down to the basement in search of Gray. I find him. I find the. I find him there alone, wiping down the table in the middle of the room, rearranging the chairs. Hey, he looks up as I enter, giving me a smile. Hi, I hesitate in the doorway for a moment. Why are you looking at me like that? He grunts, cocking his head to the side. I blow out a breath, hesitating for a moment. There's something I've been thinking about all day, but I'm not sure how he'll react to it. I'm wondering if I could sit in on the game tonight. I say, biting the bullet. You know, a real game this time, just to check it all out. You sure you want to do that? He asks, his eyes dipping in the middle. Yes, I assure him. He thinks for a moment before giving me a sharp nod of his head. All right, come on in, he says. I let out a I let out a relieved breath as I head into the room, jumping straight into helping Gray get everything ready for the night. A short while later, the first of players start to arrive, and soon enough the room is full of them. Hey guys, most of you will remember my son, Amy's son. Gray announces as we take a seat at the table together. I recognize Jed, of course, and a few other familiar faces from the Dragon Den game. Now that I know it was all an act, I feel a little bit silly for having fallen for it all, but I put on a brave face, nothing less. Alright, alright. One of the guys says as recognition dawns on his face. Here for another game of Dungeon Den. Jay gives you a solid nudge. Jay gives him a solid nudge on the shoulder. It's Dragon Den, you nitwit, and if that's what we were pretending to play, would you have already spoiled it? He gives me an apologetic smile, one that I had a little trouble reciprocating, as I still feeling a little bit of an idiot. It's alright. I know about everything, I say, giving Gray a look. Gray told me what really goes on down here. Before I finish my sentence, every pair of eyes in the room snaps towards the door behind me. Did he now? Oh shit! Here go Ivan trying to start some shit. Did he now? And I suppose next he'll be wanting to cut you into our business as well. Oh, bitch, we got a problem. This my man now. I'm gonna need that money. No, I ain't asking for that. I got a job, nigga. If he give me a choice of time, like, bitch, I got a boutique right up motherfucking stairs. I don't need your illegal money, nigga. The fuck? Why? I fucking hate Ivan. I swear to goodness, that nigga. Oh, hold on. The voice, the voice booms from the doorway. I don't have a, I don't have to turn to know that Ivan is just arrived. Although I have to admit, you'd make a pretty cute barmaid. Fetch,
The audacity!
bitch, who you fucking talking to? Fetch me a drink, will you, start? Nah, bitch, that ain't my job, nigga. I came to play, nigga. What? Hey, I don't fuck with this nigga. Get your own drink, bitch. For my nigga, get your ass. For my nigga, get you. Gray stares at me in return. So if you're not a barmaid, then why are you here? I came to play. If that ever becomes your business, then I'll be sure to let you know, motherfucker. Mm, I say from between gritted teeth. Perhaps you are. Ooh, talking sanity. Who are is you talking to, bitch? Oh, this nigga make me mad. Perhaps you are entertainment for the evening, he says lightly. Ooh, Bray.
Hmm.
Bray and Jay, get your nigga, man. Get your nigga before I get mad. If you are, I say you're a little overdressed, sweetheart. All right, that's enough. There we go, Gray. Get him, Gray. Get him. Get that motherfucker. Gray, Gray intercedes with a growl before I can launch myself across the table at Ivan. Ivan chuckles out loud as he rounds the table and finds a seat, looking nothing
Hmm.
short of a mug. Relax. Everyone's so tense in here tonight. He croons. Let's just get started. Gray says coldly as he shuffles a little closer to me. I'm finna whoop Ivan's ass in this card game. Hey, go ahead, fold, bitch. I'm talking shit. He's like, all right, you know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna whoop his ass. Gray gets the game started, and I watch as he deals out the cards, and everyone makes their bets using the little plastic chips that they purchased with real money. I sit back and try to keep from distracting the players, knowing that I'm simply here to observe. One person in particular, however, is making that extremely difficult. I can feel Ivan's eyes on me the entire time, and even when I catch him staring at me, he doesn't look away. He simply smiles that unnerving smile of his, the one that leaves me unsure as to what he's up to or what he could be planning. I do my best to ignore him, focusing on the game in front of me instead.
Hmm.
So, what do you think? Gray whispers in my ear after the first round. I watch him take back the cards from the table and shuffle them between his hands with ease. It seems similar enough to what we played the other night, just with more
Hmm.
cards, I assert. Gray nods, pretty much, yeah. Although more cards also mean more ways to win. He deals out the cards between the players with impressive speed. It's obvious that he has plenty of experience as a
Yeah.
dealer. You're also you also have to know how to read people, he adds. Like I told you the other night during our game, some people are easier to read than I suddenly blush when I think about how the game went. Girl, you giving out signals to Ivy that's dead as serious. But he don't know. He don't need to know. Hold on, relax here. I suddenly blush when I think about how that game had ended and how the two of us ended up having sex right on top of the table. Luckily, we cleaned well, but I'd be mortified if any of the guys ever found out. The next round commences, and the longer I watch the game in front of me, the more I have trouble trying to understand what is so bad about it. I understand that it's the legal part of the game is the money that is put into and won from the games, but it doesn't seem so bad to me. Um, this round's end quickly, and the winner takes his earning, getting ready for the next hand. From what I've gathered in the past, these games can sometimes run into the early hours of the morning, although Gray has always made sure they didn't keep me from getting any sleep.
Ah.
So, Maya-san, are you going to play with us? Jed asked, drawing my attention to him.
Hmm.
You gotta pay for a seat at the table, or are we changing the rules up for every pretty girl who walks in here? Ooh, Ivan! Back the fuck up! Ivan interrupts from across the table, his fist clenched into a ball as he glances. Bitch, you mad? No, fuck! Jed just asked the question. He doesn't seem happy with the thought of me playing, even though I had no desire to throw my money away on gambling. I just can't help but to press his button. I might be interested. What's the cause to play? I inquired, giving Ivan a pointed look and watching his scrawl deepen.
Hmm.
Absolutely not, Gray said for his tone low and they Gray, I was just kidding. It's you was not finna gang about me. What the fuck? It's not funny. How you gonna have me observe and watch y'all play, but then get mad when I say I might join in? The fuck? Now y'all all grouped up against me. But Jen the one came up with the idea. Fuck you, nigga. It's not funny. He cuts off with a growl as he deals the cards out to the others. You're not finna do this in front of everybody, goddamn it. I'll go back upstairs. I sit back in my seat, startled by his reaction. It's rare that I hear Gray take that kind of tone with anyone. Hey, but he been doing it a couple times with us, and I don't like that. The fuck? Tension hangs in the air, and I notice how the other players shift with their in their seats uncomfortably. All but Ivan, who sits back in the seat, grinning smugly. Yep, motherfucker. What you doing? No, no, I have not. I'm not doing nights. No way. Uh, nice try, Novak. I already know about all of that. Grace, Grace sees, clearly unimpressed by the other man's display.
Oh.
Oh, all of it? Ivan asked sweetly. Yes, all of it. I say, between gritted teeth, feeling the bitterness of the lie in my mouth. What you mean? I thought we told him. I thought we told him everything. You didn't tell him everything. Ooh, we're blowing me. You're blowing me. You ain't tell this man everything. I thought we was cool. The lie linger in your mouth. Ivan makes a gesture to signal his mouth shut. His mouth is shut before sitting back in his chair. I turn to Gray, taking note of the set of his shoulders, the tightness in his jaw. Good night then, I say, earning barely more than a nod in response. The rest of the table bids me goodnight as I leave the basement. I hear them getting into the next round when I shut the door behind me. I thought we told this nigga everything. As I climb the stairs to my home, I can't help but think that I said something wrong back there. That Gray was just mad at me as he was at Ivan. I understand that Gray probably wants to keep me out of any trouble associated with their poker games in case it jeopardizes my business, but I also feel that it's a little too late for that. Just knowing that these games are taking place down in my basement is enough to implicate me. And if anyone cares to investigate, my name will be thrown into the mix as the owner of the business building. I suddenly feel uncomfortable. I knew he was at the end. Alright, so I was 19. Uh, let's move on. But I thought she really told him everything. I thought she said to him, "Hey, I'm the one who called the police on you." Like, why did she say the lie? Like, it's kind of fucking me up. Days pass by. What the fuck? Why is he not talking to you? Days pass by without a word from Gray, which I wouldn't have been too worried about if I hadn't known he's still been here, running his regular poker nights. That thought was eating at me, knowing he was still so close, but hadn't once stopped by to say hello. Yeah. Bro, he being weird, bro. These niggas be weird as hell. I'm sure that I've done something wrong down in the basement the other night. Was he madder than I thought that I had wanted to play a game with him? It wasn't until the morning when I was lying in bed after the alarm had gone off that he finally messaged me asking if we can hang out tonight. I said yes, of course. It's about time I got some answers from him for the sudden silence. Nearing the end of the day now, and while all the appointments for today are done, there are a couple of people in the store browsing. I just finished speaking to a couple when the front doors open, and I look up at the time to see. And I look up in time to see a familiar face.
Oh.
Get the fuck out! I'm getting sick of seeing this nigga's face. Afternoon, sweetheart. Looking lovely as ever, as I see. Ivan croons, earning nothing but a scowl in reply. After his attitude during the poker game the other night, this is the last person I want to have a conversation with. Although it doesn't seem like I have much of a choice, he strolls into the shop. His eyes fixed on me as he grins. My entire mood sours at the sight of him. What the hell does he want now? I appreciate if you didn't come into my store during open hours, I tell him curtly. We're gonna be kind. We're in front of customers. I'm trying to run a business here, I add, and a legit one at that. And I admire what you're doing here, trust me. I'll only take a few minutes of your time. Ivan assures me, his tone oddly soft. You're welcome to make an appointment, I say sweetly in return. He gives me a pointed look, and when I don't back down, he lets out a
Hmm.
dramatic sigh. All right, I'll play along. When's your next appointment? He asks. Let's see. Let me see. I flip open the appointment book on the counter and pretend to scroll through my bookings. He waits as I take my time, relishing the opportunity to get a little payback for his rudeness towards me the other night. My next free appointment is in 3 months from now. I declare with a flourish of a pen I've just picked up. Should I book you in?
Hmm.
Cut the games, little dog. I'm here for something important. He bursts out. I cross my arms over my chest, debating whether I should send him packing without another word, though I'd be lying if I said I'm not interested in what he has to say. Fine, I'm listening, I say sharply. Ivan grins.
Ah.
I'm in the market to buy a shop, nothing too fancy, just a nice little business to make a tidy profit from. What kind of business? I say. Suspicion. My suspicions raised. The smile spreads across his face in a way I'm not sure I like.
Hmm.
A boutique would do nicely. Something fresh and new, preferably directly above my base operations. The fuck is this nigga talking about? Are you crazy? I'm not selling my business to you. I cut him off abruptly, turning to storm back to the counter. Like
Hmm.
what? Something tells me you'll soon change your mind. He continues, unfazed by the rejection. Bitch. Oh, see, he ticking me off. You come to me trying to say I gotta sell my building. But what? I already bought that bitch. The fuck? And what would you make? And what would make you think that? I spit back at him. He looks he looks me up and down, sizing me up, despite the fact that he towers over me considerably. Consider fucking. I'm determined to stand my ground
Hmm.
against him. I always get my way. Okay, buddy, pal, bitch. I always get my way. He tells me. Not this time, nigga. Ivan thinks for a moment, and I can almost see the cogs moving behind his eyes before he turns and waves his arm at the customers.
Hmm.
Are you fucking serious? Now I'm calling the cops on your ass. Watch this. Shops closed, he growls, and I'm watching horror as they make a break for the exit.
Yeah.
Are you fucking serious? Oh, I'm calling the cops, most definitely. Get out, all of you, he yells after them, stomping all the way to the front door. I step out from behind the counter and push past Ivan towards him. Wait, no, we're not closed. I start. But it's too late. They've already dashed through the door and out into the street. What is wrong with you? I turn to Ivan angrily, my fist clenching the ball at my sides. I really could have used
Hmm.
those sales. Like I said, I always get what I want. You'll soon find that. I'm not the kind of man you want to cross. Bitch. Ooh. This nigga keep testing me. Like, you actually coming for me for no fucking reason. Dead ass. This nigga just dead ass pissed me off. I ain't gonna hold you. You niggas are so weird, bro. Get out of my store, I scream, so furious I can almost feel the steam pouring from my ears. Ivan gives me a last knowing grin before heading for the door, looking awfully pleased with himself. I'm calling the cops. Oh, the door swings open before he reaches, revealing Gray, who looks between the two of us, from my furious, flushed face to Ivan's smug grin and
Ah.
puzzlement. Jason. Ivan greets him before pushing past and heading through the door. At least he's gone for now. Gray turns to me as Ivan leaves the boutique, his expression confused. Nah, it's either you gonna have to have some bodyguards at the door, or we call them cops and let them niggas know. Is everything okay? He asked. If by okay you mean Ivan scaring all my customers out the store, then yeah, just peachy. I scuff. I scuff as I throw my arms up in frustration. Gray runs a hand over his face, an expression pissed as he looks behind him, as though considering whether he should go after Ivan right away. I told him to stay away from him. He obviously needs to be told again, and more firmly this time, he growls. He was trying to talk me into selling my store to him. I tell Gray, drawing his attention back to me. How does he expect to conveniently run a fashion boutique? I think out loud. The man is an oaf. Gray ponders on Gray ponders the thought for a moment, his eyes fixed on the door Ivan had walked through mere moments ago. He's trying to use it as a front for the business, he says. Yeah, that much is obvious. I have in his aspiration. I see why he wants it, and it's convenient. Gray continues. Any fluctuation in profits he can explain easily enough. Sounds like you thought about that before. I say in accusation. I just know the way he thinks about these things. He explains with a grin look. I don't know if I can. I don't know. I ain't hold you. I'm really not comfortable having him around, I confess. This entire scheme you've got going on with him, I may tolerate it, Gray, but Gray takes a step back and his face falls slightly. I know. Gray says gently, there are things I wish I didn't have to do either. What do you mean? I ask. Look, I'll make sure nothing happens to your boutique, okay? Sensing he wants to change the subject, I reply, alright, fine. Are we still on for tonight? I ask. Gray hesitates. Actually, I'm going to have to cancel for tonight. Oh, I stopped what I'm doing to turn to him. Something came up, something I need to take care of as soon as possible, he explains. Something about him seems off, and I get the feeling that this news about Ivan has shaken him up more than he's willing to let on. First, I don't hear from you in days, and now you're canceling our plans. Is there something going on that I should know about? I brought out. It's starting to feel like there's a lot more going on than Gray isn't telling me about. No, it has nothing to do with you, trust me. So you're not mad at me? Mad? Why would I be mad at you? The other night in the basement when I said I would play the game, I trail off. Gray sighs as though he's only just realized now. Thought didn't thrill me, and I admit that I've been trying to keep all that out of your hair, but I'm not mad at you. I've just had a lot on my plate. I'm sorry for not saying anything sooner. Okay. Well, maybe we can just do something on the weekend, I ask hopefully. Gray looks me, finally, his expression softening as he steps closer. Yeah, that would be great, he says. He leans in and kisses me, pulling away much too soon. I'm really sorry, he says again. I say goodbye and wave him off. With a sad smile, I'd be looking forward to finally spending some time with him, but it seems like I'll have to wait a little longer. Hey, but Ivan needs to get his ass beat. Ivan needs to get his fucking ass beat for real. Like that nigga need to get kicked out of this town, bro. The next day, I stand at the corner in the boutique, drumming my fingers along the surface and letting out a sigh. The store has been dead all day, and I don't understand why. Usually around this time, I've had few people come in and browse on their way home from the work, cause people been talking, and I think Ivan doing some shit. I head over to the window and peer through, wondering where everyone could be today. Maybe there's a parade in the city or some a pop. Nope. All right, fuck that. Where the event is taking place, keeping everyone away. When I look out onto the street, I see people coming and going like always, and then my spirits lift up when I notice a customer approaching the boutique. Finally, I recognize her as one of my regulars. She works in a store nearby and often stops in on her way home from work to browse my new items. A couple of men step up to the woman and says a few words. She looks confused, her eyebrows dipped in the middle before she abruptly turns and leaves. Ooh, bro. Okay. I pull the front door open so hard I'm surprised I haven't ripped it off its hinges before stepping out into the street. Cause who I gotta beat up? Hey, I called to the two men. It's now that I noticed that I've seen them hanging around with Ivan before and cursing beneath my breath. Of course, he would have something to do with this. What do you think you're doing? I question them. We're under strict instructions to not let anyone in the shop. The shorter one says to them. 2 minutes, they fold across their chest. You're not supposed to tell her that. The other guy, balding and wearing a black coat, Smacks his friend on the back of his head. You need to leave before I call the cops. I stand my ground, my voice shaking in anger. You should call the bloody queen, love. No one's going to move us from the spot. I'll call the cops. Oh yeah. I I'm getting fierce because y'all this y'all second day testing me. Like the fuck is y'all being weird for? Like, what is you doing? Leave me the fuck alone. You better watch who you speaking to like that. I spit, meeting Baldy and his beady eye head on. He laughs and nudges his friend on the arm. The two of them sizing me up like I'm about as threatening as a kitten. What are you gonna do about it, little girl? Oof, ooh. The short man taunts, making the other one crackle even louder. Quicker than a flash, I shove the heel of my palm into Shorty's nose, hearing the sickening crack of a bone fracturing. Beat that nigga ass. He howls in pain as his hands fly to his nose, stemming the flow of blood that trickles from his nostrils. She just broke my nose, he cries out, while Body scrawls at me. Calm down, you big baby. You've broken it plenty of times before. She can't have done that much damage, she sneers. If you don't get the hell away from my boutique, you'll find out exactly how much damage I can do, bitch. I threatened, fist raised. Give me your best shot, love, and we'll only be back again tomorrow with backup. He smirks. Oh, with a frustrated growl, I storm back into the boutique and head for the counter, searching for my phone. I need to think of a better solution for it. Yeah, to get rid of these motherfuckers. Well, y'all gonna have to cancel game night. Game night, period. He not gonna come because he said he busy. The phone rings a few times before getting his voicemail. I tried twice more, still no answer. Man, get Jed. Call Jed. It's over with. I hopelessly rack my brain for another idea. I need to get these guys away from my building, and I know that calling cops will do no. Why won't it do no good? I hit Sarah's name and dialed her number. Why would you
Mm.
twice? Hey, her cheery voice sounds through the phone. Sarah, I got an emergency. I need your help. Can you come by the store? I speak quickly. Oh my God, what happened? Are you hurt? Are you sick? She asks frantically. No, I'm fine. It's just I explain when you get here. I cut her short, my tone
Oh.
impatient. I'll come over as soon as I can. Reassure. Hey, I'm like, hey, and bring Jay with you too. Like, what? Y'all two ain't gonna do no damage. I need Jed. Sarah arrives about a half an hour late. The men outside have managed to scare off another few customers during that time, despite my efforts to thwart them.
Huh?
Can't we just call the cops? That's what I'm saying. Sarah asked after I explained the situation to her, as outraged as I am. You know that would just make things worse, I tell her.
Hmm.
All right, so we take things in our own hands. The window in your bedroom has the best view of the street, right? She asks, her smile turning wicked. Yes, why? What are you thinking? I arch an
Uh.
eyebrow. Tomorrow morning, we'll mix together a nasty concoction from the kitchen and dump it all over their heads. She
Hmm.
grins. They have no choice but to leave, and if we make it disgusting enough, I'm sure they won't be back in a hurry. But nobody trying to do this all the time, though. They should get away from my shop. I ain't doing nothing to these niggas. I stare at her for a moment, completely dumbfounded. That's actually a really good idea. I tell her as I take a mental inventory of my pantry. There's bound to be tons of random things in there that we can use. But what if they keep coming back? I say, trouble about to start.
Hmm.
Then we'll then they'll have a bucket of muck waiting with their names on it, she said quickly. I blow out a breath as I think of an idea thoroughly. There's every chance that Ivan will find another way to get at me, but I can't just sit back and do nothing. What are you gonna do tonight? Do you want to stay over? I asked Sarah, my mind
Oh.
made up. Of course, it'll just be like old times, she winks. Yep. It wasn't too long that we were just two single girls with only each other for company, I say with a sigh. I have to admit, I really like having Jed and Gray around, though. Sarah winks and responds. I think back on earlier to Gray canceling my plans with me, to him having barely spoken a word to me at all this week. I sigh. Yeah, me too. Mm. The next morning, I wake up and get ready for work as usual. Shower, brush teeth, eat breakfast, pick out a comfortable outfit for the mission this morning. Ray never called me back. Wow, but he did send a text late last night saying he had been busy and could call me today. I feel weird after that. I feel weird after reading it and confused by this distance that he seems to be growing between us. Right when I thought things were picking up. Yeah, that is pretty weird. I ain't know. Hey, shaking the thought from my head, I head downstairs to open the boutique for the day. But instead of unlocking the front door, I peek through the curtains covering the windows. Shorty and Baldy are already there, and the same guys from yesterday. I scowl at the airbags and poke out my tongue before turning and sprinting back upstairs to my home. They, they're there. I tell Sarah as I enter the kitchen, taking a moment to catch my breath. She grins in a way that I can only describe as maniacal. And if I didn't know any better, I'd say that she's enjoying herself. I spot the blender she's pulled out and set on the counter next to a large
Hmm.
mixing bowl. Let's get to work, she says. What should we add to our moron repelling potion first? Opening the fridge, I take a peek inside. I like to cook most of my meals at home, so the kitchen is usually well stocked. Ketchup, mustard, and seems like a good side to
Mm.
offer. Perfect. Sarah approves. I hand the bottles over, watching her squeeze a generous amount each into the blender. How about some lemon juice? Hopefully it gets in their eyes. I giggle before cutting a fresh lemon in half and squeezing the juice into the blender. Oh, and some chili powder. I pull a small container from my spice rack. Now I give them a nasty
Ah.
kick. No, let's be evil here, she says as she picks up a bottle of chili flakes. One of these bad boys in your eye, and you'll be crying for your mommy in no time. It's not going to be permanently damaged. It's not going to permanently damage your eyes, right? I ask cautiously. Sarah shrugs
Eh.
nonchalant. As long as they don't continue rubbing it in, I don't see how it could have a lasting damage. We search through the kitchen for a few ingredients, adding vinegar, honey, pickle juice, and soy sauce into the mix. We blend everything up, pouring half of the contents into the mixing bowl. That smells revolting. I gag at the stench wafting up towards my
Mm.
nose. That's the point, Sarah says proudly.
Ah.
Who would want to stand around on the street all day smelling like a garbage disposal? Sarah takes Sarah takes the bowl with her and we head to my bedroom, giggling like a couple of schoolgirls. I climb on top of the dresser and slide open the window, peering out over the street. I can see them, I whisper to Sarah as she joins me.
Ah.
You take the ball guy there and I'll take the short one, she says, as she raises the bowl, ready to tip the contents out over the unsuspecting victims. Ready? I ask Sarah, who nods in return. One, two. Yup, that's what they motherfucking get. On three, she pours the contents out over the men, hearing the splatter of the mix before they shriek out loud. We quickly back from the window and I shove a hand over my mouth, keeping me from laughing. I can still hear the moans and groans drifting up through the open window as we know without a shadow of a doubt that they'll know who just tipped the liquefied contents of their kitchen all over their heads. Unable to resist any longer, we sneak towards the window in time just to see the two buffoons dashing across the road, covered in brown sticky mess, yelling about their burning eyes. You better leave, Sarah shouts at them from the window. There's more where that came from. I join her to stifle my laughter. We watch as they disappear down the street before heading down to the boutique where I pull the open sign and unlock the front door. This time, thankfully, I find the sidewalk outside free from any Ivan's friends.
Mm.
That was amazing, Sarah says. Sarah comes up behind me, raising her hand for a high five. I give her a grateful smile as I slap my hand against hers. Thanks for helping me
Mm.
out. My pleasure. She's she says with a grin. If you don't mind, I stick around for a while. Make sure they don't come back. Somehow I doubt those two will be back anytime soon. At least not before they've managed to scrub every inch of themselves clean. I'm not on a high after our plan worked out perfectly. I'm on a high after our plan worked out perfectly. Perfectly. and I'm enjoying spending this time with Sarah. Be my guest, I say. We get stuck into a few odd jobs, dusting shelves, cleaning mannequins, tidying racks, but as the day drags on, there will be, there are still no customers in sight. It doesn't take long for me to come crashing down from my high after realizing that chasing away Ivan's guys has absolutely done nothing to help. I don't understand what's going on, I say out loud, talking to Sarah who is perched on a stool behind the counter. Not a single person has come in here since those idiots left outside.
Mm.
Maybe it'll take them a while for things to pick up again, she suggests as she flips through the fashion magazine. I try to agree with her, but somehow I still have my doubts. For some reason, there's a thread of unease pulling at me, telling me that I've overlooked something. Grabbing my phone, I search city trends online, making sure the opening hours are listed correctly. And that's when I see it. The search engine brings up the new reviews for the business, dozens of them, in fact. I scroll through the reviews, all of them are one star and riddled with scathing remarks. The more I scroll, the more they appear until my screen is unreadable through the tears that I've buried,
Mm.
blurred in my vision. What's happened? Sarah asks if she comes over to me and looks over my shoulder. I hold up the phone up to her, letting her skim through the reviews.
Huh?
That's rotten garbage. That rotten garbage can. She swears as she pulls her phone from her pocket and taps
Eh.
on the screen. I'll help you go through and report them. She says, and I can tell from her tone that she's trying to contain her anger. What's the use? I stifle. Feeling absolutely defeated, Ivan will just come up with some other way to get at
Ah.
me. I wish you'd go to the police, Sarah says again, and have them find out what's going on in the basement, my basement, I'm stressed. You can't let Ivan win, she insists. I throw my arms up helplessly. What else am I supposed to
Hmm.
do? I don't know. Maybe Nikki and the gang could help out. Maybe, although I prefer avoiding asking the old gang for help, I say. Sarah scoffs at
Ah.
that. After what you did for them at the bar, I'd say they'd be more than happy to repay her the favor. I distracted by my phone ringing and I wipe my tears with the back of my hand before glancing at the caller ID. It's great, I say sheepishly. My heart yearns for his comfort at a time like
Hmm.
this. That's good. Maybe he'll have an idea on what to do, Sarah says hopefully. It's gonna be some bullshit, and I'm telling you now, it's gonna be some bullshit. Oh, don't piss me off. Alright. Swiping the icon on my phone, I hold it to my ear and answer. Hello? Gray. Hey, you sound a little off. Are you okay? Gray asked through the receiver. Yeah, I'm fine, I lie. Not really wanting to get into details over the phone. Your voice is cracked, he presses. The concern in his voice makes me even more upset, and the small hiccup escapes me. It's Ivan, he. What do you do? Gray asks, his tone suddenly going dark. He's ruined everything, I cry. I hear Gray swearing to himself through the phone before he speaks again. I'm coming over right now. I'm 5 minutes away, okay? He says. Okay, I say, pulling the phone away from my ear and pressing the icon to end the call. Gray's on his way, I explained to Sarah, swallowing around the lump in my throat. She lets out a relieved breath before she pockets the phone and reaches for her
Ah.
jacket. I'll head off and give you two some space to talk, but call me later, okay? She urges. I promise her I will, waving goodbye as she heads to the door and disappears out onto the street. Gray arrives when she said, well, Gray arrives when he said he would, and not a moment later. When he wraps his arms around me and pulls me into a hug, the tears start to fall all over again. I breathe in his scent, letting it calm me as he squeezes me tight. Hey, it's okay, he says as he pulls back, my tears staining the front of his shirt. Let's go upstairs. I want to tell you everything. Mm. We head upstairs to my living room where we sit on the couch together. I put my knees up and face him. I'm sure my eyes are swollen and my face is blotchy from tears, but he doesn't seem to mind. It's alright, I'm here. What happened? He asks. I relate the story to him, sparing no details and watching his face fall further the longer I talk. Although the boutique has been doing well since I opened, it's still just a small business, I explained to him, feeling the emotions bubble up in my chest once again. Even a couple of negative reviews can be bad for business. But getting review bombed just like this is practically a death sentence.
Huh.
I sniffle. We'll find a way to have the reviews removed. Great, assures me. Surely we can do that. It's it's difficult to do and it can take a lot of time. To tell you the truth, at this point I don't even have much hope, I tell him.
Ah.
Gray curses beneath his breath. He looks mad enough to tear someone apart limb from limb. He's gone too far this time. He sees. Fists opening and closing as though he's imagining Ivan's neck in
Huh.
between them. I'm so sorry that this happened. I shouldn't have let it get this far, he adds. I should have done something. I can take care of myself, I assure him, though my voice is still trembling with emotion. He looks at me softly, calming himself down as he slips a hand beneath my neck and guides me
Oh.
closer. I know you can, he whispers. Gray leans to Gray leans in to kiss me, his lips gentle when they find me, slowly picking up the speed. I clutch the front of his shirt and kiss him back, letting myself fall into him and forget all about the events that happened today. The, uh, though it's only been a few days, I've missed this. We barely had a chance to spend any time alone together. But right now we have all the time in the world, and I'm looking forward to Gray finally making good on his promise to take his time with me. The sound of the message alert has Gray pulling back from me, and when he reaches over to check his phone screen, his face
Hmm.
hardens. I have to go. What's up with you? Shit. He says abruptly, frowning at the device as he pushes himself to his feet. You only just got here, I interrupt. The worry begins to set in. Gray tears his gaze from his phone to look at me. Through his eyes are extremely
Oh.
cold. I know, I'm sorry. Is everything alright? I ask. It will be. It will be, he assures me. He kisses me one last time before he heads for the door, disappearing from the room in a matter of seconds. I stare after him, completely at the loss for words, but now I know more than ever that the only person I should be relying on for any help is myself and the people that are loyal to me. I refuse to shed any more tears when I know that I have a way to solve the problem with Ivy, even if it means diving back into my past to do it. Picking up my phone, I search through my contacts until I find the one I'm looking for. Nikki, yeah, my road dog. Hey, fuck Ray, nigga. Me and Nikki gonna do, we gonna do a mission, nigga. I might bring Sarah along. I no, actually we can't, cause Jay gonna snitch.